Panda Beat.
Good evening, people. Welcome to the Triggered Thoughts podcast. Your host, Geniusdan, and your co-host,
Verbz.
Yes, hope you're doing well. And today's topic is the cost of living crisis. So, me and Verbz thought of doing this because obviously it's something that's been going on for a while. And it's something that's affecting everybody in their own individual way. And yeah, we thought we would do a discussion on it to just look at the contribution to why this is happening, you know, potential ways and what we can do differently in terms to survive in such a tested time as this. So we just wanted to touch on, for example, I ain't
gonna lie, I got a lot of notes here, you know, cause
yeah, but I was just thinking on which one we're gonna. I'd say the cost of bills being one of them.
My God.
So
yeah, go on, fire away, man. Let's go.
People, if you notice we're coming on to a new year, coming to Christmas now, but if you remember last Christmas, the gas and electric was ridiculous to the point that they were giving people, some money back on it? I can't remember how much it was, but people were getting, I'd say at least half of it. Do you remember it was, cuz? How much was it?
What's that, the money contribution towards?
Yeah, because it was, I'm sure it was just the gas. But for the last 3 or 4 months, they were giving people a reduction.
What was it, like 80 quid or something?
Yeah, it was, but it helped, to be quite honest with you. You know, it helped. But yeah, people, for me personally, I just feel that it's a kick in the teeth when we have a cost of living crisis and then you have the mayor of London setting up all these ULEZ cameras all over the place. Knowing full well that people are struggling financially. People are not in a position to buy a new car or a car that's ULEZ compliant. And, you know that people rely on their vehicles to do their business, and then you're going to do something retarded like that and put people in a compromising position that have got families to feed.
My God.
People, that £12.50 could go towards shopping. It can go towards other stuff. Who's got £12.50 to pay a day? Bearing in mind, you've got your tax, your insurance, petrol, not to mention obviously MOT when it's due, service. Do you see what I mean? All these additional stuff. Then you got the congestion charge. Then you've got the fines if you're caught in the yellow box or you're caught in one of those bus lanes. So it's kind of like, for me, it just seems like it's a war against the motorists. They don't want people on the road. That's how I look at it. Now,
that's real. Yeah.
Now, if I was mayor, and I gave a damn about the people, I would be looking at ways, to, save, the general public money. I'm not going to try and make their lives more difficult, knowing full well that, people are just struggling to make ends meet. And let's not even forget about the people that are homeless. Yeah? I'll tell you one thing, because, the situation, and obviously what's going on in Ukraine is sad, and just, it's not a nice situation. But what really got me with this especially being in this cost of living crisis, the government turned and said, go and help a Ukrainian. Now, I happen to know of people even in my local area that are homeless. I know people that were in the army that are homeless, and it's kind of like, go and help a Ukrainian, put them up in your house. But then I've never once heard the government say, go and help your local homeless person. We'll give you an additional top up in your benefits. So for me, we've got a homeless crisis in this country, but then we're going to neglect our own to go and help someone abroad, someone that we don't even know. And let's not forget that once these people are in a house, they now have legal rights. So do you think it's going to be easy to get them out? It's not going to be easy to get them out. If you watch the documentaries on, tenants from hell, landlords from hell, you know that once someone's in the property, they have a legal right to be there. And even if they could go for months, even a year, without paying rent, and then you have to obviously start the eviction process, then it's the cost to go to the court and then file the, you see what I mean? So it's a headache. So for me personally, looking at this whole situation, even with, you know, the homelessness, like the government's not serious. They need to do more things for the public. They need to provide, you know, additional funds. They need to do something to help people out of this situation. That's what I mean. It doesn't help when interest rate increases. It doesn't help where the prices go up in the food and other stuff, but then you don't increase the wages, you don't increase the salary. So people now end up being in deficit, because what would normally be, let's say, a packet of beef would be, let's say, £5 and under. Now that's like almost double the price. So imagine now your shopping bill has gone up quite considerably, but then your wages hasn't gone up to match. You see what I mean? There's not like a 50-50. So now you're going to be in deficit. So something now is going to have to be sacrificed in order for you to be able to pay for the necessity, which will obviously be food, and even so much more if you're someone that's got a lot of children or you're a single parent household. You see what I mean? So there's so many horrific things about this situation, and to make it worse, we don't even know when this crisis is going to end, because it just seems to be an ongoing thing. Do you remember when the petrols went up, cuz? Petrol was ridiculous, man. What would
that was crazy.
60 would normally fill up our tank. It was only filling it up half, cuz.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh man, I mean,
My God!
It was.
But we have to touch on like the reason why we think the government are doing this.
I could tell you I'll tell you the main reason is furlough.
My God!
Fire away.
Furlough.
Huh?
The government were giving furlough remember when the COVID situation happened and people were told that, you know, people lost their jobs, people were told that they can work from home, you know, all that sort of stuff. And the thing is, just think about how much money people, imagine you're at home and you're getting paid for being at home. So just think about how much people, and remember, furlough was extended as well. So imagine that the government have funded out all that money, for the furlough, and people are not looking at the bigger picture, thinking that, you know, okay, where's this money coming from? Somewhere along the line, that money has come from somewhere, and they needed to replace that. And this is why now we are seeing all this ULEZ going up everywhere. Now he's looking to extend the Blackwall Tunnel. It's a madness, man. It's an absolute madness. But yeah, the furlough is definitely that. Did he not also?
What about? Let me cut you a sec. What about help to eat?
Help to eat.
You remember that?
No, I don't. You know. No,
when everything was on lockdown, remember the businesses were suffering and stuff like that, and then they were trying to encourage people to come back out and start eating, visiting restaurants and stuff like that. And they did that help to eat
such
thing.
A long time, man. Oh yeah.
You remember that?
I do. Yeah.
But the government was paying.
Time, man.
Yeah, the government was paying towards people going out and eating. Do you remember that?
Yeah, it seems like such a long time. Yeah, I remember that now, man. Yeah, I remember, man. I forgot about that, you know.
You see what I'm saying? But I think you're forgetting one factor as well, yeah? I can't quote who said it and I can't quote when, but I do remember for sure 100% that the government have said that they intend to make London for the rich.
My God!
Is it? Whoa. For real?
Yeah, so basically the average Londoner in there, or to their statistics, is on I think 70,000 a year.
My God!
Yeah. And because of that, things like rental property prices are going up, mortgages are going up. I mean, I remember a lot of people that had a lot of money in London were buying properties in central London and they had West London, those kind of areas there. The Notting Hills and all that. But because those places were bought out, what they started doing is they started to expand, and then people that wanted to buy in like the West London and Central London areas wanted to be close to the city for work. That's where all the people that have the big money work. And then what happened was they started to gentrify areas just over the bridge. So you're talking mainly like South London when you go over the bridge and you start hitting like the boroughs, the Elephant and Castles, the Peckhams, all those kind of areas. Yeah, so what they done is it's almost like they expanded the rich area from Central and West London and came over the bridge. And that's where you started to see like certain businesses starting to invest in the area because they knew about it. You know what I mean? So you started to see like all these bakeries and food eateries and stuff popping up. Do you know what I mean? These street food places popping up. You started to see Sainsbury's starting to locate itself in certain areas, but big Sainsbury's and big Tesco's where they're connected to like, you know, like them new buildings, but they're for people with money basically.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so they were connected to those kind of buildings and stuff. Do you know what I mean? They started to change the roads, take away certain bus station, take away certain shopping centers and stuff, put big bus stations there and all that kind of stuff. So they were basically preparing so that the transportation, public transportation, was able to get people from South London to Central London. And I think that's why you're seeing the prices are reflecting that plan.
My God!
Okay. That makes sense.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's reflecting the plan, you know? And then obviously now you've got the war on the motorists, you know? People, like you said, people that have certain cars of a certain age can't afford to buy new cars. It's becoming very costly where they're having to either drive their cars here and there according to how much they can afford it, or give up their car, you know, completely. Do you know what I mean? Because they can't afford the car's not deemed roadworthy. If they drive that on the road, they're gonna end up getting so much costs.
Yeah, it
doesn't really make no sense.
My God!
Yeah,
you know.
Facts.
I just want to hit you with I just want to hit the listeners with a stat that I came up with that I researched. I'm gonna just concentrate right now on the war on motorists. I'm gonna focus on the congestion charge alone. Yeah.
Okay.
So let me break this down real quick. So in 2003, when the congestion charge started, it was £5. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah.
I remember that.
And in 2005, it rose to £8. Yeah. Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. And in 2011, it rose to £10. Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. And in 2014, it raised to £11.50 Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Then the big CVID happened. Now, when that happened now, 2020, it went up to £15.
My God!
Yeah.
Wow.
And that was Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday, 12 p.m. to 6 p.m.
My God!
There was no Saturday and Sunday before
Yeah,
CVID, you know?
I remember now. Yeah.
And this is inclusive of bank holidays.
That's
So basically,
crazy.
since CVID, the only time you really get to drive into London or drive through London without paying the congestion charge is Christmas Day to New Year's Day.
My God!
Yeah, that's a problem.
So you can see the pattern emerging that when CVID came in, it jumped from £11.50 to £15, and then they added that you have to pay on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, with crooks.
You only have to think about that to kind of understand what they're trying to do, innit?
Yeah. Absolutely.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, on top of that, you get £160 fine if you don't pay your congestion charge. So if you drove through and you didn't know, you get £160 fine, but it drops down to £80 if you pay within 14 days.
It's criminal.
Yeah. If you pay your congestion charge beforehand, it's £15. Yeah. But if you pay it and then you realize, oh, you know, I got to sort it out, and you pay it the next day or a couple of days after, it goes from £15 to £17.50.
My God, my God.
Yeah. Look at that. You've actually followed that through. I completely forgot. I remember when it was that, and it just goes to show you these things just sneak up on you without even realizing. Yeah.
So you can see the pattern where I've just broken it down from 2003 to 2020. You can see the pattern where it's jumped from £5 to £15. Now, I'm looking at the pattern of this on paper, and I can see that it's literally between every 3 to 6 years, it increases.
Yeah.
It went up £15 in 2020. So I'm guessing within the next maybe year or two, it's going to go up again.
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. Then you add to it, you have the ULEZ. I didn't even do my research on the ULEZ charge, you know, if your car's not compatible. Do you know the charge of that?
The ULEZ charge?
Yeah.
It's $12.50, isn't it?
Okay, so 12, and I think it depends on different vehicles that you're driving.
Yeah,
innit?
because even recently, even when with my where I live, I have to pay a parking permit, and now I have to pay based on the emission. It's ridiculous. It was like an extra £75 on top of the £100. Couldn't believe it, man. I was screwed.
My God, my God.
That's absolutely madness. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was screwed, man. I couldn't believe it.
You know, and then listeners, what they're gonna do now is a lot of people travel to work in cars, yeah, and a lot of them use the Blackwall Tunnel. The Blackwall Tunnel used to be free to use. I'm sure from what I saw that in 2025 they're gonna be charging to use the Blackwall Tunnel to go to and from. And that is going to be something like, from what I saw of it, it was like £1, about £1.80 or £1.90 per time, every time you go through it. So if you're on the way to work, you pay that. You come back, you pay that. But I just saw an article that said that Sadiq Khan is looking to make people pay the price of £5.25 each time they go through the Blackwall Tunnel.
Yeah, man, this is getting too much now, man.
Money, 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 money.
Yeah.
That's all it boils down to. If you haven't got the money, at some point in London, you're going to get pushed out.
My God,
yeah, I believe that.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I believe that.
Rent is going up. Yeah? Mortgages is going up. Yeah?
People can't even afford the mortgage, you know, man. They're having to get lodgers and stuff.
Exactly. In London, unless you're hard pushed to be able to get a mortgage by yourself. If you're in London, you have to get a mortgage with somebody else, and both of you are on a high salary.
my God.
That's facts.
Yeah, it's not like back in the day where you can go and when I mean back in the day, I mean literally maybe 10, 15 years ago, you could get a mortgage by yourself in certain outskirts of London. Now you just can't unless you're on ridiculous wages, and I'm guessing those wages would probably have to be very close to like 100,000 a year.
My God.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And a next thing that I can say about the UK, yeah, which I find very weird and frustrating. Remember when the energy bills went up, yeah?
Yeah.
And I think still people are still experiencing this today. I remember I moved home when the year that the energy bills went up, but I was on the key meter. Yeah?
Yeah, I remember that.
And yeah, I was on the key meter, and I remember I was using the key meter, and I remember I could put in, I think, about £50 electricity for them, and it would last more or less the month. Nearly the month. I might have to go and top up another 20 quid or something, but it would last. And I could put like 80, 90 pound on the gas, and I might have to top up a little bit, but it would carry me through to the month. I remember, yeah, that year that we moved and was using the key meter, as soon as they announced that the energy bills was going to go up because of the Ukrainian war and stuff, I remember I put my electricity on, and within the week, it was gone blood.
My God, my
Are you serious? What, the whole 50?
The whole £50 was gone blood. You know what I mean? The gas went as well, like I think just over a week. I remember like when it went to an emergency, I was in the house, I was cooking. It went to emergency. Usually I would put the emergency on if I can't remember to go shop now, but I'll put the emergency on and go shopping like the next day or something. Or, you know what I mean? It would last like 2 days easy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As long as you're not running like your gas, so you're not keeping the house heated continuously, it would run 2 days, yeah?
Yeah.
And that year that it went up, I remember I put the £6 in there. I said, I'm going to go shop like tomorrow or something. Put the £6 on there, started cooking again. Bro, I kid you not, yeah? Within like 2 hours, the £6 went.
My God, my God.
What?
I'm not even joking. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because when I moved and we were still in that position where the energy bills was high because of the Ukraine war, I then obtained, I was paying my energy bills through a month, through the bills, innit? Instead of the meter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bro, significant difference in price. It was a lot cheaper.
My God, my
What, through they're paying what, without the key?
Yeah, without the key. No key meter. It's expensive. When you're paying with the bills, it's cheaper.
my God, my
That's serious, man.
That kind of shows me that must be, I could be sounding like I'm paranoid, but it sounds like you're trying to hit people that can't afford it. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah. I might have to warn people about that, you know?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, I might have to warn people about that. That's not good, man. I know a lot of people,
You know what I mean?
they've sold the benefit because they want everyone to be on meter.
Exactly. They want people to be on smart meter. That's even worse.
my God, my God.
That's what I meant, yeah.
Yeah, the smart meter is even worse, man. You know what I mean? So, you know, even when we think about the attack on the motorists, so with all this ULEZ congestion charge, these parking fees, you know, these ULEZ cameras are everywhere. When I drove down from Birmingham and I came down to London, I was doing 20, and at one point I stepped on the gas a little bit and it went to like 22, and I just saw this big giant yellow box, and it just reminded me, you know what, slow yourself down, man. Because one of my friends said to me, you know, if you literally go 2 miles per hour over them, it will flash you.
Yeah, it's true.
Do you know what I'm saying? So they're just everywhere. You have to slow down. It's inconvenient. It's very inconvenient driving through London, as far as I see. It's not an enjoyable experience. But when I think about all these costs that people are incurring to drive, these people, the government that set this up, them bastards have messed up people who have small businesses and depend on vehicles to deliver their merchandise.
My God,
Yeah, you're right.
my God.
Yeah. Then what you've messed up as well is people with mobility issues, elderly and disabled people, and we could even chuck in there like mums that have to take their children to school if they've got quite a few children, or maybe the mums are childminders. They use their vehicle to drive, like, I don't know, pick up other people's children and drop them to school.
Yeah.
You've now made things difficult for them. How can you put things in place to make people with mobility issues, elderly people and disabled people like struggle to drive around? People with small businesses have to pay a crazy charge now to be able to deliver things. It's madness.
My God,
Yeah, that's a valid point what you said there. Yeah, it's true. But as I said, it's just business. They don't care about the people. They care about the people. They want to be doing all this additionals.
Yeah, and the thing is, remember, this thing isn't even London based. Like I said, I'm here in Birmingham. The ULEZ charge is here. Yeah, I know geezers that drive for business, electricians and whatever not. They're driving diesel vans. They used to be able to go to the city centre for fun before. Now they can't go like anywhere in like 10 minutes, anywhere near that radius, because if they go through there, they have to incur a charge, and they're losing out on a lot of business. They're in positions now where people are trying to ask them to come down and do some electrical work here or some plumbing work here and stuff, and because their cars or their vans can no longer go through that area, they're having to turn business down, bruv.
That's terrible. That is actually terrible. Something needs to be done, man.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
what can you do?
Yeah, something needs to be done, man. I think he needs to be sacked. That guy, Sadiq.
Who, Sadiq?
Yeah, man.
Somebody said that to me the other day, and I was saying to them, like, but what makes you so sure that if he had to step down or nobody voted for him again, that the next politician that comes in to try to be London mayor
could be worse.
is gonna take down what he's doing? Because me personally, this lot in this day and age, I don't trust any of them because they clearly about that rich and poor divide.
Yeah, absolutely. You said
you know what I'm saying?
What you said there, yeah.
You're seeing it more now than ever before. Do you know what I mean? These people don't care.
Yes,
you know, the media that works probably alongside them has been doing things that I've noticed with my own eyes since 2012. I've been speaking to people about this, and I'm saying it's like the media has been trying to brainwash people into disliking people that are not on high wages, people that are on benefits. You know, Channel 4 and Channel 5 to me are very, very responsible for the mindset of people, the attitude that people have towards families that are living on benefits. It's a very poor attitude that people have had, and they've been conditioned since 2012. My family on benefits. All these shows that keep coming on TV to make people watch and see somebody from abroad come here, get a property, have food parcels delivered to them. You know, I'm sure if those people could get work, they would try and get work. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
But their circumstances is different. Nobody wants to come travel from wherever and sit on benefits for the rest of their life. People from abroad know that or think that Britain is streets are paved with gold.
Yeah, I know. I can't believe
they're gonna want
that mindset. I remember that from 30 years ago. Yeah, it's not the same.
Exactly. So they're gonna want to come here. They're gonna know that there's benefits here. Yes, they're gonna want to access that. Of course they will. Yeah, but they want to access that for a short while they climatize and understand living in Britain. Once they do that, they're gonna want to work. They're gonna want to set up their own business. I mean, even if you look at the Romanian traveler people, yeah, people say that they just live off of benefits and stuff like that. I don't know if they do. Maybe some of them do, but I always see them people driving around in vans and going and collecting scrap metal and making a whole heap of money.
My God!
They've got aspirations. They're not sitting here just trying to do benefits.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
These people come from hard-working countries. They've probably got more of a hard-working drive than most people in Britain.
Careful of that statement, man. You upset a few people, mate, with that statement.
I'm being real, bro. I'm being real, yeah? I might upset people with that statement, but when you come from a place where there's adversity, there's lack of this, there's lack of that, you have to get up out your house, you haven't really got running tap water. I'm not saying all of them are, but some places ain't got running tap water. They have to go and collect food from this place, how many miles down the road, go and collect water from this place, how many miles down the road, they might not drive, they have to walk there and this and that. Do you know what I mean? Like when you live like that, you are naturally a hard-working person because survival kicks in where you have to do certain things. So when you come somewhere where it's easier, you're not going to relax. Your hard-working ethic is going to be completely different.
Yeah.
You might relax for a bit, yeah, but it's going to be completely different.
Yeah,
you know, we're from the Caribbean. Our parents are from the Caribbean, yeah? And I always say like that when I see people that I know that work in barbershops or have their own little businesses or whatever, not if you get what I'm saying, that are born in Britain and stuff, their work ethic compared to what I see to people from the Caribbean that come and stand up in a barbers and that is completely different, bruv. You know what I mean? People are coming, they're coming from countries where there's nothing there, man. They have to work hard all the time. They're forever grafting because there's no money there like that.
Yeah.
It's survival. So if they come here and the opportunities are here, they are going to seize them. but the media makes it out like they just come here and just scrounge forever. If you know what I'm saying. I don't particularly think that's true, mate. And if we're being real, I'm going to be honest. And this statement might upset a few people. And I'm not trying to judge, because I believe there's hardworking people in any group, race, whatever type of people, yeah. And there's probably people that ain't hardworking in every group, race, or whatever type of people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But me personally, I just feel they got a different type of work ethic. And if we look at the history of Britain, yeah, Britain is usually been built up by people who are not British. It relies on people from other countries coming in and contributing to their industry. You only have to look at like midwives. Yeah?
Yeah.
If you look at midwives, 70s, 1970s, 80s and stuff like that, it was full of Caribbean women in the British hospitals.
Wow, look at that.
But it's facts. Do you know what I mean? You go to a GP now in Britain. I don't know how it is in London, but you go to
it's terrible now.
When you go to your
appointment, can't get an appointment now.
Push that to the side a second. When you go to the GP, how many GPs do you see in there that are British?
That's a good point, you know. Hardly any, to be honest with you. They normally,
When they say, "Oh, you can come through and go and sit down over there, Mr. Rere or Mrs. Whatever," Dr. Falowski is gonna come and see you in a minute, or Dr. Chin. Huh? Yeah, Dr. Chin or Dr. Falowski or Dr. Mohammed or Dr. That's what you're seeing in the GP clinics.
Yeah, that's true. You know.
So what I'm saying is, if a lot of the GPs are foreign, yeah, they're here for a reason. They're helping the industry.
Yeah.
If the English people wanted to do it, really wanted to do it, yeah, they'd be in there too. You'd see loads of English names, but you don't, bruv. You get me? So let's not sit here and scrutinize foreign people for coming in the country and getting jobs, because if the English people that heavily populate this country wanted to go and do certain industries, there would be no need for the government to go abroad and make a deal with a certain country to bring in, I don't know, Caribbean people to come down and come and work in the hospitals, or Asian people to come down and come and work at the GP, or they'd have it all here on their doorstep. There'd be no need to build no link with no foreign country to get doctors and nurses in, would there?
Yeah, that makes sense. I remember as well when a lot of these people come over as well, this cheap labor, because a lot of these people have their papers and they get exploited. You know,
well, this is it.
250 a week from working from 7 till 10 at night. I know that someone personally that was doing that a few years ago. This is it. And they don't have much of a choice. If you haven't got the paper, you ain't got the visa, and you don't have a working visa, because remember, some people have a visa, but it doesn't allow you to work. You have to, your family has to provide for you. If you don't, have a proper visa, then the problem that you've got there is, you can't work. So you have to, if someone's offering work and they're telling you we'll pay you cash in hand, and you turn your nose up at it, you do without. You either do with the cash in hand and make do with that, or do without. And this is how a lot of these people, but now they're cracking down on that now. And you get heavy fines, and people think twice now before doing that. Yeah. If the fine is serious, does that mean? So people just say, actually, you know what, I'm not doing that, sorry. Does that mean you need the paperwork?
Well, this is it. I'm just saying people need to just think twice before they start using foreign people as scapegoats and saying that they want to just come here and take everything or whatever. They've got jobs. Yeah, they will take the job because they've got a work ethic, but these people think they're going to come here and just live on benefits. Who wants to live on benefits? What can that do in England? Even if you are Romanian, even if you are African, what the fuck can the benefits do, bruv?
You have to remember, that it's free money. So as much as me and you might not see it, remember, these people are getting money for nothing. They're not working for it. They sleep all day. They just sign on, once every 2 weeks, get their rent paid for, council tax paid for, money for the bills and money for the kids. So you think about it. Why would they want to work? What's the incentive in working? And on top of that, the hourly rate is low. So you're gonna end up going and doing a job, lose your benefits to do a job where you're getting just about £10 an hour.
And your outgoings is more.
Yeah.
This is what people don't realize.
So it doesn't logically make any sense.
Exactly. Do you know what I mean? So, like I said, I'm not using this to bash people. I'm just saying, think, man. We're all in this thing together. Everybody's here trying to work. Their money ain't going up. Whether you're from abroad, whether you're here, whatever not, we're all trying to work. We're all trying to make our money. But the bottom line is, when you're living in places, big cities like London, these government people are setting up a whole heap of things that me and Genius has gone through that is basically trying to push people that are on lower wages out. They're not setting it up so that we can live a reasonable, I'm not saying the best, because you don't have to be the best, don't have to be rich, a reasonable quality of life. They're making people struggle.
It's true. That's very true, because that's exactly what's happening.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, people are struggling, man.
So, I just want to give a shout out. Let me flip it now, because we've been banging on about this foreign input in the British industry and stuff like that. Let's flip it back. In terms of the ULEZ and what the government's doing with that, or Sadiq Khan is doing with that, I just want to give a big shout out to the Blade Runners.
He's tough in trouble, mate. I tell you that. The Blade Runners.
Hey, I don't know who the Blade Runners are, but you know what, bro? And I don't necessarily sit down here and condone criminal damage, but you know what? The way the government and Sadiq Khan is moving, and the stuff they're putting in place to try and squeeze people that are hard workers that may not have the opportunity to get the big salaries that they want. Yeah. The way these people, and it's not even some of the people that have money, I'm sure, are complaining about the cost of having to drive, the cost of having to park. I mean, London now is full of red routes, bruv. If you stop at a parking meter, I can only imagine how much you have to pay for that now. Because
listen, you know what they're doing now? They're giving you less than 10 minutes. If you drive in some places now, you say like Sainsbury's, or it's one of those places where there's a camera, you got less than 10 minutes. If 10 minutes come and you haven't got your ticket, you're getting a fine.
Is it? Yeah. In London, that's how they're moving, yeah. That's absolutely crazy. Everything's a cash cow, bruv.
My missus went to somewhere in Greenwich, and she got a ticket. I said, "What?" She said, but the madness is, she just wanted to see if it was, I can't remember. She just went to just see if there's, just have a look. But obviously, she thought, let me just get it. But it's too late. She got a ticket, but they were like, no, you took too long. You needed to get. I was like, raw.
My God!
Yeah, absolutely crazy, man.
So they said, you got a ticket, but you needed to get it within this time. It's bad. It's really, really bad, man. Honestly, really,
that's
really
crazy.
Bad.
Well, that's why I say salute to the Blade Runners, bruv. Because like I said, I don't condone criminal damage, but what these lot are doing and how they're making people's life a misery, they're making a lot of people depressed in London, man. And you know what the Blade Runners are doing, and some of the general public are doing it. I've seen videos where the general public are parking up big vans and stuff in front of the ULEZ camera.
You see some of the videos they put up, You see some of you see them put up.
That's what I'm saying. So shout out to them, man.
My God!
They're backing a cause. If you're gonna fight for something, then fight for that, man. You know what I mean? Because this thing shouldn't be here. You're taxing people enough. And really and truly, if you look at the history of tax shouldn't be here because tax is illegal. I'm just being real, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, the history of it. Yeah. That's why you had man like Robin Hood back in the day doing his thing historically.
I love how you put that, man.
You know what I'm saying?
How you put that,
yeah, so they're trying to make us pay this, pay that. Boy, you know what? In a few years, I was saying to my friend, in a few years' time, who knows, bruv? They're gonna deal with us like Arnold Schwarzenegger in the film Total Recall, where they have man paying for oxygen.
That's a madness. I hope not.
Do you know what I'm saying? It could get that way. They're charging you for everything, mate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, and we could even go into the 15-minute cities, but I don't think the listeners is going to be ready for that. I think that should be a separate segment by itself. You know what I mean?
My God!
Because that's another deep one. You know what I mean? What these people are putting in place and what a lot of these councils have already agreed to sign. I've already signed up for and are preparing or are already in the first phase. And a lot of people don't know about it. If you don't know about it, listeners, yeah, take your time. Instead of sitting on TikTok and watching all those shorts that keep you stuck in your chair for 4 hours when you thought you were sitting in there for 20 minutes.
My God! My God!
Yeah, go on YouTube, type in London 15-minute cities, yeah, and have a look. Or go on the internet.
Getting on board, man. Cause well done. Good to see you getting on board.
Yeah, man, you know what I mean? Or go on the internet, type it in, have a look, research and see if you can find out what boroughs have already signed up to this 15-minute city plan. If you do manage to see it, my God, you're going to be fucking shocked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, boy, you know what I mean? I don't know, man. You know what I mean? I saw this gentrification thing happening from a long time ago in London. I left London in 2012, mate, and I left because I saw them refurbishing and the place and stores popping up, and my area where I come from, I started to see business people in abundance walking up and down in my area and looking at me like I'm not supposed to be there. Do you know what I mean? And it just became a bit uncomfortable. I don't mind staying there and battling them, but the reality of the matter is I looked at it like, bruv, I want to live all right, man. I want to stay somewhere where my pound can stretch. Do you know what I'm saying? Even if I was on a big 100 and something a year salary, because I'm going to be real with you, like, I'd have still left because I'd rather I was able to stack and save my money than live in London and just throw it away.
My God!
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I respect money. Money ain't everything, but I respect money. If I've worked for it, I want it to work for me. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to keep working for money and I can't see my money working for me. So I have to go somewhere else where my money can stretch. And that's why I left London. Now I'm seeing a lot of people who don't own their house or who don't own a council flat.
Yeah.
They're complaining, bruv. They're in misery. Do you know what I mean? You know, and I just hope anybody that is still in London or anybody that's going through this situation here, you know, does find a way or is finding a way where they can manage themselves and make things work and maintain a level of happiness for themselves and their families. If not, man, listeners, I would say, boy, you might have to just consider doing some research and say, you know what, maybe it's time for me to step out. Might not be too far, but just step out a little bit, man. Do you know what I mean? If you step out a little bit, you'd be surprised how your wallet or your purse might still stay a little bit fat rather than getting starving skinny. You get me? You know? So yeah, cuz, any more thoughts, any last thoughts you want to add to the topic?
What I would suggest is for those, you know, that are struggling to, you know, get food, there are food banks as well. Obviously get in contact with your local council or your local borough. There are food stamps. There are places that where you're able to get food as well.
When you say food stamps?
Yeah, like they'll give you like vouchers, stuff like that, vouchers. And obviously because of the work that I do, I learned about that. So yeah, there are places, but then it's about the person being humble. You know what I mean? Because some people they feel some type of way going places, you know, getting handouts, but it's not about that. Kill pride. It's either that or, you know, kind of go without. So you have to make a choice. You know.
So can I ask you in addition to that, because I don't really know about these food banks too much, but what I have seen when I've seen them a few years back was like they give you stuff like tin peas and tin sausages and cereal or this and that. Is there any places, can people access a food bank where they might get something realistic, like that they can work with, rather than just pure tin food.
It depends, to be honest with you, what they've got. And yeah, obviously compared to how it was back then, there's loads of different stuff now. So I mean,
okay,
so yeah, they deal with a variety of stuff. So it's not just that,
Yeah.
So okay. Yeah, man.
Well, I hope that will help the listeners, man. You know what I mean? That'll be good. Because I'm sure some people are stuck, and some people might feel like you said. I've heard a few people that I know of that said, I wouldn't go to a food bank or whatever. I'm not doing great, but I wouldn't go to a food bank. But
that's
if you're real with yourself,
that's pride.
Yeah. If you're real with yourself and you need it, just go, man. No one ain't judging you. Just go. You know what I mean? Like, if you need it, just get it. And even if people do want to look at you funny or whatever while you're there, if you're the type of person that says, you know what, I'm struggling right now, which is normal, everyone's going to have gone through a struggle in their life financially. I don't care what anyone says. Unless you're born in a family that's just generations upon generations rich. That's the only way. But everyone's going to go for a struggle. Do you know what I mean? Just go there, get what you need, especially for your children. Do you know what I mean? And for yourself. And find a way to work your way out of it in the long run, because it is possible. You don't have to stay in that circumstance. So don't worry about no one judging you, man. Just go there and have a plan to get yourself out of it.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? Yeah, man. We all fall down, man. But at the end of the day, when you're down, the only way is up.
I like that. Positive. Definitely, cause
you know what I mean? So yeah, man. Yeah, we done here?
Yeah. So people, as I said before I sign out, I just want to, just encourage people, don't give up. There's always light at the end of the tunnel. Stay focused. And just know your rights, to be honest with you, at the end of the day. Things are not getting easy, but at the same time, don't allow yourself to get into that depressive state. Talk to people, because it does more damage when you keep things internal. But at the same time, be wise with who you open up to, because some things are not for every ears. Facts.
100% facts. Yeah, I like that one. I like that. Yeah, So
Verbz, listen, people, till the next one. I'm signing out. Your host, Geniusdan, and the co-host,
Verbz, man. Big up people, and thanks for listening, man.
Yeah, and till the next time, Triggered Thoughts Podcast. Nice one,
Big up, that's all right, yeah.